All right, my friends, welcome to episode 400. Wow, what the fuck?
400. Sweet.
We're moving on. We skipped last week's episode because apparently my debit card, I forgot to update that billing. So you're going to get 2 episodes at once, and we skipped 100 episodes. Now, this is episode 310 of Prof and Dev Play Games. His name is Anthony. He is a dev, and he's at Summer Speak on Twitter, and I am Larry. Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and I teach English. And wow, yeah. So we missed last week, not because we meant to. I didn't check my billing.
The places I checked for it, the episode being up, it was up. The tweet went out. The YouTube went up of us talking. So seemed like it was good.
Yeah.
Guess not.
I log in tonight. It's like, you owe us money. Oh yeah. Oops. I canceled that debit card and got a new one.
Now it makes me wonder if it got posted to Apple.
It didn't, because Bill said it's not an Apple. I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe it'll be there tomorrow. That should have been a bell in my head, because I've been having to, update my card everywhere, basically. So, like Spotify, which my daughter uses all the time now. It's her go-to entertainment.
There we go.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Listen to all the Foo Fighters all the time.
All Foo Fighters all the time. She was. We're listening to Walk today from Wasted Light. Or Wasting Light, and she knows all the fucking lyrics, man.
Yeah.
It's a 4-year-old just singing all these lyrics. I never wanna die. I never wanna die. I'm on my knees. Oh my god. She is just all in.
In side Foo Fighters news, did you know that they're getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in a couple weeks?
Sure did. I don't know who's inducting.
Does that make Dave Grohl the first person to be inducted twice?
God, I doubt that, but I would be hard pressed to think of who.
Because Nirvana was inducted in 2014, I think.
13 or 14, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Foo Fighters this year, I was like, okay. I mean, they deserve to be there, but still.
Right. Yeah.
Have you read his Grohl's book?
I've got it. I've read the first chapter so far.
Okay. I saw that. I was like, oh, I missed that came out. I want to read that.
Yeah, it's good. My daughter and I read it together. The first chapter. It's heavy. Like it's.
I'm sure.
It's not thick. Like it's like a normal sized book, but for some reason, like the paper is like twice as heavy.
Okay.
It's a heavy
you mean
book.
actually
physically heavy? Yeah.
Not emotionally heavy. Although I bet it is emotionally heavy at parts.
Yeah, the beginning part not so much.
Yeah.
So.
Because I saw an interview with him come through my feed. Oh, basically, my YouTube feed, and I was like talking about his book, but people asking him like talking about Kurt Cobain, like writing about that. Some of the first times he has.
Right.
And I was like, oh, maybe I do want to read this. Might be some interesting stories in there.
Yeah. No, there's, Scream Days, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, all the stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
Tons of family stuff too.
Yeah.
At some point his editor said, stop writing.
I saw that where he was saying, that interview where he's like, he had written like 300 pages of stories, and the editor's like, just stop.
Yep.
Like, you got to pick now.
Yep, we're good. We're good.
You can write another book if this does fine. More stories.
Yeah, exactly. The storyteller part, too. Well, welcome to our Foo Fighters podcast once again.
Yep.
This week we're talking about Animal Crossing. They had a direct this week. Some cool stuff. It was like a breakneck direct, just news after news. And then we'll talk a little bit about DC fandom. I didn't watch any of it, or I didn't watch a single second of it, but I saw some of the headlines come across, so we'll talk about that a bit. And then what we've been playing. So start with AC. Did you watch the direct?
Yes, at a later point. Mm-hmm. And I must say, I just kind of had it on for a chunk of time, because it's a big direct.
It's very long, yeah.
A lot going on there, but I also have some pages up that do a nice job synopsizing everything.
Cool.
Because there was a lot.
There was so much. A lot of quality of life stuff for the first, the current game.
The first thing was the last free update.
Yep.
Which is coming out soon?
November 5th.
Yeah, the same day that the DLC drops.
Yep. Which we'll get to.
But, I mean, that list of changes was just kind of insane. Like...
I like that you can build permanent ladders.
Yeah, permanent ladders. Like, just the small quality of life stuff there.
Increased storage.
Adding farming to the game.
Farming, yep. A shed where you can just, like, that would be great for me because my daughter just empties my pockets all the time. And it's like, just go to the shed, put it in the shed.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It's just, I don't know. It's like more of everything that was already in the game, plus a couple other features, and then just tons of quality of life, especially with uh, arranging houses and stuff like that.
Change the facades of the houses.
Yep.
Custom painting of different. That's already in the game, but like,
yeah,
I forget exactly what it was, but you can like change how lots of different kinds of things look.
Oh yeah, and they brought back the ordinances, which were in New Leaf, so you could do things. So like you could say like select one that makes it so weeds stop growing.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, like it's just like in the town, everyone just helps keep it clean.
I want one that the stores open early because I play with my daughter early, and they're never fucking open.
Yeah, I mean that was just super quality of life stuff, and that's a really good choice to bring over from New Leaf.
Especially if you're done like updating the game, for free update, I should say.
Accent walls.
Yep.
So you can go crazy. I mean, between this, all the free stuff, and then the Happy Home Paradise, the DLC coming with it, it's like they are doubling, tripling down on home decoration, which, let's be honest, that's people still playing this game and really deep into it. That's the thing, like collecting the items, decorating your home, making it yours. And my God, are they giving you a huge amount of new content for that.
Well, and that's what I like about the DLC, and what it seems to me is that you just kind of have the items available. Like when you're tasked with quests for people in this island getaway for their vacation home, to decorate it the way that they want it. So I assume you're not grinding as much for stuff, more locating
There's a thing here where I'm expecting while you're there in the resort and you're designing these resort homes.
Yeah.
You have access to all of it.
Yes, great.
But you don't have access it back to on your island.
Well, that's fine because
you probably have to spend some currency to buy the stuff from the resort to unlock it on your home island.
Well,
so you can do your
they
stuff.
have that new currency, whatever it was called, on that island.
Yes.
So that's fine because like my daughter would like to do all that stuff. I just don't have the stuff that she would want to do. You know, and I don't have a ton of money. Like I don't, in that game. So to be able to have a place where it's just like, yes, we can kind of just decorate however you want with whatever you want would be really cool. And did you catch that it's bundled with the N64 expansion pass for Nintendo Online?
Kind of. I mean, this is the controversial piece. So for listeners, the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack increases the cost of Nintendo Switch Online to $50 a year.
Yep.
So that's quite the jump from
it's
$20.
Huge jump.
For key piece here, you get the $25 DLC for Animal Crossing included.
Yep.
So Nintendo's doing a calculation there of going like, they have the data on like how many times each person is playing Animal Crossing and logging in daily to do it, where they can see we're going to try to incentivize those people to get Nintendo Switch Online.
Well, it's probably going to work for me, on me, because it's, I want to buy that DLC to play it with my daughter, and my subscription is expiring. It's the time that it's expiring. So that just makes sense. Although then, I guess the thing that doesn't make sense is like you don't own it, So.
And that's the thing, you don't? I'm having a hard time saying. It sounded like you did.
Really? I thought it was basically like as long as you have the online service, you own it, which I would probably have anyway.
Maybe.
So. Like Game Pass.
I couldn't find a complete thing that would say yes or no to that.
Yes, I believe that. I guess I'm making an assumption, I guess.
Nothing that I've seen says you keep it or don't keep it. So I don't know. Maybe if Nintendo was nice, you would get to keep it. Like it was just you're buying the DLC and paying a little extra to get your Nintendo Switch Online.
Right.
For the year.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure people will tell very quickly. This has to be a question that's been asked, but.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Direct, I don't think, said specifically.
No, it didn't. It just said it was included. And that I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at Nintendo Life's feed, and the comments are like, I'm getting this.
Yep. Nintendo's like, it's working. Yeah, overall, like, I just was really pleased. Like, I didn't watch it until my daughter was ready to watch it. We watched it together, and she was like, is this available now? Can we download it now?
Soon.
Like, it's November 5th. When is that? After Halloween. When is that? That's in 2 weeks.
Weeks.
What's a week?
What's 2 weeks?
Yeah, exactly.
7 days.
Yes. No, she understands that concept of time, but she was excited. And then, today she forgot about it. So that's fine. She's
of course. That's fine.
All about Kina right now. Last night, my wife went in there to help her. She was crying about something when I was gone last night. And she came in and was expecting a battle, and there was no battle. And our daughter was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to sleep and have another Kina dream.
Okay.
Pretty cool. At least it's not a Kina nightmare, because it's getting scary.
Yeah,
She's like jumping in my lap now while we're playing. Well, we'll talk about that later, I guess. But overall, yes, pleased about the Animal Crossing Direct.
Yeah, this is huge, and I mean, I should check what the sales numbers are for Animal Crossing right now.
Yeah, has it beat Mario Kart 8 Deluxe yet? Ooh.
List of best selling. We're still on from June 30th was the last update, and it was at almost 34 million copies sold of New Horizons and 37 million of Mario Kart 8.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That's such a good attach rate.
It is it's insane, which is probably why Nintendo is including the DLC, the whole thing. They're just like, yep. Why did people buy this console? To play Animal Crossing.
Yes, it's the Animal Crossing console.
That's all. Those attach rates are still insane when I look at these numbers. It's just like, I mean, those are the two. Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing are like standouts at mid to high 30 millions. And then Smash Brothers Ultimate is just under 25 million.
Still, that's fucking amazing too.
That's a big number for Smash.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild is 23.
Also cool. Odyssey's got to be up there, I'm sure.
Odyssey is 21.
Yep.
Behind Pokemon Sword and Shield, also at 21. Just different parts of 21.
Yeah.
Super Mario Party, 15. Pokemon Let's Go, 13.5. Splatoon 2, 12.4. And Ring Fit Adventure rounding up the top 10 at 11.2.
Yeah, baby. Ring Fit. Fuck. All right.
Yeah, I mean, people couldn't get that damn thing.
I know. That's why it surprised me that it's on number 10, because it was really hard to get. But, I mean, obviously all video games benefited from everyone being locked down, but, like, Ring Fit and Animal Crossing were huge beneficiaries.
Yes.
Ring Fit, like, whatever, it's still a fucking great game. It is really well put together.
Still thinking about getting it. I need to exercise more, and I'm trying to decide if that would actually get me to exercise or not.
Yeah. In my experience, if your kids are into it.
There we go.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff though. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the update on Animal Crossing. It's I like the farming piece. For some reason, that just feels therapeutic.
It is. I mean, let me tell you about a game called Stardew Valley.
I was gonna say there's Stardew Valley in this game.
To a point. I mean, Stardew Valley took elements from Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Combined it with Harvest Moon in some way. Like, it took a little bit of that genre and just crammed it together.
Yep.
But there's something very, very chill about Animal Crossing, though. I didn't see in the quality of life, and maybe it's been updated in the past year. Can you craft more than one item at a time?
Oh my god, I have not seen anyone talk about it. Do you want to craft another item? Yeah, fuck, I do. You know, the same fucking thing. I want to
craft like 5 of these goddamn things. Just let me select 5 and go.
Oh my god. I understand you're trying to slow things down for some fucking philosophical reason, but come on.
Yeah, and that's something I was like, please, quality of life? Eh?
Would be nice.
No. Yeah.
But I wonder if they're going to have more than one paid DLC. They didn't say, like, this is the only one.
I think they might. I feel like they will not release another Animal Crossing until there's a new console.
Yeah, right.
Is my thought. And they'll just continue to expand this one.
With that big of a player base, like, that's the right move.
Yeah. Yeah, that just seems like the smart way. And it also kind of seems the way Nintendo's going with their games right now. Unless you're Mario Party.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Mario Party coming out, whatever the hell, what's that one called?
Fuck, I don't know. But it's like out now, isn't it? Yeah. Or this week?
Or coming. It's very soon. And then I saw just the trailer for everything included in it. And I was like, oh, this is the Mario Party everyone wanted.
Yes, exactly. I'm a little pissed.
Yeah, but then in a way of being like, oh, this is like, there won't be another Mario Party on the Switch. This is it.
Right.
We'll get new games and updates, but this is it. Just as there's not going to be another Smash on Switch.
Right.
Technically, we are going to get another Zelda on Switch, maybe.
We fucking better.
It's going to come out at some point, right?
Yes, it must. It must. And I assume another 3D Mario.
I would think, because, I mean, they didn't do a huge amount of updates to Odyssey.
No, they did Luigi Balloon Pop, and that was it.
Yeah, so I can only imagine that there's probably one more Mario in store for new, 3D Mario type.
Yeah. It's been God, there's the amount of games, like really high caliber games that have come out, even down to like Luigi's Mansion, which was really good. It's been a good console, man. And if I didn't just buy a Kurt Cobain Jagstein guitar, I was gonna get the fucking OLED. But now I'm tapped out.
I really thought about it, and then my wife was the voice of reason, going like, "How often do you play it in handheld anymore?"
Yeah.
And I was like, it's docked most of the time to my computer monitor and everything, so I play it.
So
I'm like, you're right. I probably play it only about 10% handheld.
Yeah.
For the most part now. So I'm like, yeah, OLED's not worth it. Even though I do have some FOMO about the OLED. Everyone being like, it looks so good.
Yeah,
like,
I do too. I think I keep telling myself though, like, there will be an OLED next year. Like, I can get it next year. Although that's true. Probably
you get it next year, and there's actually a point of I'm like, likely it will be included on whatever the next thing is.
Oh, that's true too.
At this point, we're probably 2 to 3 years out from the Switch successor.
Right.
So can I just wait? Could just wait.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the Switch I own now is perfectly fine. And
I mean, the OLED thing is not changing. It doesn't change any hardware.
Correct.
The internals, so it's not running games faster or anything.
Yep.
So
you're basically paying $350 for a screen.
Yeah, you're playing it for a screen, and for people playing it handheld all the time, it probably is worth it.
It is.
It's a gorgeous screen. So I don't know, but for me, voice of reason came through and was like, don't do it.
Smart. Yep.
You got a guitar though.
I don't have it yet. But once our friend Travis sent me the link, I was like, I do have one more spot in my guitar rack. I was like, I'm not gonna buy a guitar for a long time. I just bought a new one. I don't need a new one. But the tone is so different, and this is the guitar that I've wanted since I was 16. So,
you're getting it.
It's on its way. The funny thing is, the one I just got was a G&L, which is what Leo Fender, his company, he made after the non-compete when CBS bought Fender. It's Sonic Blue. It's fucking white. It is not. There's barely even a trace of blue. It's fucking white. The Fender one I'm getting is Sonic Blue too, and it looks blue. We'll see when it shows up.
Yeah.
But I could have two guitars that are technically Sonic Blue that look completely different from each other.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. Speaking of guitars, I ripped my oldest electric guitar apart, put on new tuners, and ripped out the old pickups and put new pickups in. Soldered in new ones and fucked it up. So unsoldered it, and I'm just testing. Like the schematics I have for the guitar are cool. The schematics I have for the pickups are cool, but I don't have something that tells me how those two things go together. So now it's just trial and error, which is fine. It'll eventually work out. There's only 5 wires on each pickup, so eventually I've wired in one pickup and it works. I just have not got the second one to work yet.
Yeah. You're like, you can brute force your way through this
That's
one.
what I'm doing. Exactly right. I was like, you know what? I'm learning. This is how I'm learning how to do this, by making a fuck ton of mistakes.
Yeah.
At least I know
It's
how
true.
to solder, so that's good stuff.
Hey, that's more than I know. I've never soldered a thing. I've thought about
Soldering's
it.
easy. So, you could definitely.
Soldering correctly. Harder.
Oh, soldering good enough is easy.
Yeah.
But I learned that in that high school job that I had.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, it was like, we're charging $50 to update this radio. Okay, here, Larry, you do it. Like, what? I don't want to do shit. No, just grab the soldering iron. Here, do this. Drop a little bit of solder right there. Okay, now what? That's it. What? Okay, I'll give it to him. No. Sit here for half an hour and then give it to them, so that they think you did something amazing when you really didn't. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, there's two things. One was that, and the other one was to change the way that the shortwave radio scanned. You just snipped a wire. And I snipped the wire and I put it back together and went to bring it outside. And the guy grabbed me by the back of my shirt and pulled me back and said, "Don't you do that. Sit down. Do something else. Go out there in 30 minutes." Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
I was like, what? He's like, "We charge $80 for that. If you go out there in 2 seconds, they're going to be pissed. Sit here." Okay. All right.
Wow.
Yep. I learned a lot at that job, but that was one of the many things I learned.
I learned to make pizza. You got to solder.
Yeah, well, I think I've eaten more pizza than I have soldered things, so that's pretty useful, actually.
It's true. I still make a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
And then I always get handed the job from the family. They're like, "No, you make the pizza. You did it for a couple of years.
Yeah, this was your job."
You know generally how this works. Like, it's a pizza. It's hard to mess up.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
That's true. Awesome. DC Fandom is this. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and Fandom now.
Yeah, I was gonna say DC Fandom happened this weekend. I didn't catch any of it, but you saw some of it, I think.
Some. Again, I didn't know it was going on until a little bit later, and it was basically the Batman trailer came out. The second one's like a full trailer this time. So.
Oh, cool! Not just a teaser.
No. This is no. It's like 2 minutes. It's a full trailer. It doesn't really give plot away so much. Just kind of really gives you the tone. You hear Robert Pattinson's Batman voice, his deep, growly voice, and you get to see him as what he looks like as Bruce Wayne, which is fucking emo. And I will actually say I'm not sold on his Bruce Wayne, just on how he looks, like wearing dark sunglasses, hair kind of down to just below his eye line, like parted slightly, just that emo look kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't buy that for Bruce Wayne. Sorry.
Right.
Just not. I get it. It seems like they're trying to set this like him young, basically, like coming into the taking up the mantle and everything.
Right.
But I don't know. That's the hard one. It's playing that character. You have to have both sides to it, and I'm just not sold on the look. Who knows? They don't show any of him talking as Bruce Wayne or acting like Bruce Wayne, so I'm very curious what that is like. Is he just kind of like young emo Bruce Wayne who's just like putting all his rage into Batman but has forgotten how to actually be Bruce Wayne? That's possible.
He's like an emo indie
or hasn't
rock
figured out that. Yeah, basically, yeah, totally.
He's like in a rock band, man, in this movie. That'd be so cool.
It's such a weird. That's weird. And then they don't show his face, but they show that the Riddler is the villain, which I've known, which is being played by Paul Dano, which
cool.
That intrigues me a lot. But they also say that this is the trailer show. This is really dark and gritty. Really.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me for the property.
More than the Nolan stuff did.
What? That's already grimdark, man.
This is farther than that.
Oh my god.
That's where I'm like, well, they've talked and it has this vibe that like the Riddler they're doing is like it has Zodiac killer vibes and like Seven kind of vibes going on. You're like, that's a take. That's and so it just kind of has that.
It's like Batman the horror film.
Kind of, in ways. Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle is fucking hot. Holy
that's cool.
shit.
That's cool.
But good. I'm like, yep, you're Selena Kyle. Totally. You. And oh boy, do they make you look good. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for it even more gritty. Because yeah, I get it. That's basically Batman from the 90s on has been super gritty.
Yeah, even like Joker, right? Was super dark.
Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker.
No,
yeah.
I mean fucking Joker that just came out before the pandemic.
Joker movie. Yeah, like that's the thing. They're just like, and I mean, that's the thing I told my wife about, and she's like, no, she's like, I'm noping out of that.
Yeah.
She's like, that's not what interested me in the movies. And hint Christian Bale.
Right.
But she's like, she really liked The Dark Knight. She felt like that rode the line very nicely of being dark but having not as oppressive.
Right.
I think is the word she used. This movie by this trailer feels like it's going to be oppressive. So I don't know how I feel about that. I also don't know how I feel about Batman just tanking bullets.
He's just
There's a scene where he just takes, like he's just bulletproof. Like they're just shooting.
Yeah.
He's walking down a hallway and it cinematically looks amazing because it's all dark and it's automatic gunfire. He's just taking guys down, shooting automatic rifles at him, but you just see all the bullets just sparking off his suit.
Right. Wouldn't you aim for his throat or his chin at some point?
That's why I'm like, don't shoot that cutout part of his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Or all that shrapnel that's all those bullets that are hitting and like shattering aren't shredding his face. I mean, again, it looks cool, but when I stop to think about it, I'm like, Batman doesn't tank bullets so much. Like that's not his thing.
Yeah, he deflects them sometimes, but not like raining bullets like that. Yeah.
No. Someone was like a point blank pistol to his like upper chest, and it just sparks off. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe I don't know. Tanking bullets is like Superman's thing,
right?
So I mean, that's also like where I don't. That super gritty take on Batman is probably not the Batman that I've been like ever super heavily invested in.
It feels like it's been the thing that's always succeeded for that IP in the movies. So they just keep
in the movies, yes,
going
definitely farther and farther, and it differentiates it from like, look at this is not Marvel.
Yes, exactly, which is very opposite.
It is, and I'm like, I don't know if just saying we're not Marvel is the best choice.
Right.
But we'll see how it turns out. It comes out in March. In theaters only. I will not be probably seeing it in the theater.
Oh, wow. They made that choice. They're not streaming it.
Yeah. Nope, not that one.
All right.
Which is interesting because it's HBO. It would
be on
HBO
Max, right?
Warner has been on streaming everything on Max as it's been coming out.
Yep.
Dune is coming out this next Friday, which I'll be watching at my home.
Yeah.
Yep. And it'll be nice.
Mm-hmm.
See if they actually succeeded in making an adaptation of that book. Because that's going to be hard. So.
Yeah, I really like that book, but I feel like, I don't know. Usually when I like a book, I think it's not going to be the same on the screen, and I think that they're going to mess it up. This one, it could enhance it. It could make it. Cause I liked it well enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have high hopes. Let's say that.
Yeah. So Fandom had that. I didn't watch any of the other.
I watched Court of Owls, and I watched Kill the Justice League.
No, I watched the movie trailers, the Suicide Squad and Court of Owls, Arkham Knights.
Yeah, and I thought they looked really good, visually. We're talking about the games.
Yep.
I thought they looked really good, and the fact that I don't know, in both of them, you just have like a cohort of characters to play as. I think that can be pretty good for gameplay. Yep. But I don't know. There's not enough. It looks good. I think it looks smooth. I think it's promising. They're both 2022, sure. I think.
Yeah, I think that's with me. I watched them and I was like, cool. So what's the game?
Yeah, that's kind of
Like,
how I felt too.
like
Yep.
where you set the story. That's fine.
Yeah, and to be fair, they were story trailers, so that's fine. But
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fine.
know what. I can assume what the game is. I just don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
I can assume what the Suicide Squad game is, being Rocksteady and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Arkham Knights, like, I have a general idea from what they've shown before, but I'm curious how, like, more focus on how it plays and how, because it's co-op too, I believe.
It is co-op, correct?
Yeah, it's like the party thing. And I was trying to get a sense because I thought I remembered it was somewhat more RPG leveled kind of thing. Like you have a level, enemies had a level. Like people were complaining about that, or I thought if I remember from the first time it was shown. Like,
I think
was that right? It's been a while ago.
I'm
I thought they showed
struggling
it
to
was
remember now.
that it had like enemies actually had like levels over their head.
Yeah.
Like it was more RPG like that, and I was curious if it was going to try to go down the route of the like Destiny style, whatever the hell that's called, that the Avengers one that came out,
Right.
of being like it has this online component where you're leveling and getting loot and stuff like that. Small, massively online games. I don't know.
Right.
Massive, small online games. I can't be sure, but again, that's what I want to know. I'm like, yep, Court of Owls. I know the general storyline there, so I want to see more of that. And it's not Rocksteady, so I'm curious what that the other team does with it.
Yeah.
It's a WB Montreal.
Yep. The ones who made Arkham Origins, I think, or at least the studio, maybe not the team. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm curious on that, but they look good. They look pretty. I assume they're not early 2022, or they would have said something right now.
I bet they're holiday. Yeah. Although you want to space those out, don't you? I mean, I don't know how these
probably.
I
bet you probably want one in summer and then one in holiday, ideally.
Oh, Rocksteady's the holiday one.
For sure.
For certainty, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, watch that. There was some other movie stuff.
There's like a Black Adam. I don't know if that was a TV show or a movie.
It's a movie, and it's The Rock is in it.
Oh yeah,
He's Black
that's right.
Adam.
That's right.
I don't know who the hell Black Adam is though. So
he is a character in Injustice. That's the only reason I know Black Adam. Does some magic.
I thought you were gonna say he's a character in DC Comics, and I'm like,
nope. I was going to add a little more to
Good
the
job.
conversation and say he was in Injustice, which basically just means he's a character in DC Comics.
DC Comics.
Yep.
There was a teaser for the Flash movie coming out.
Right.
And it really is just a teaser, but it's like, okay, DC is doing their own multiverse using the Flash now.
Yep.
There's multiple Flashes, and that's the one that's rumored to have Michael Keaton back as Batman.
That would be cool.
That would be fun.
That would be cool for some reason. That'd be fucking like a nice hit of nostalgia.
It is.
Like old man Batman, probably, right?
Yeah, it has to be, of course, at this point, much older. But that same Batman that was the Tim Burton Batman with Keaton and everything. That could be
so cool.
An interesting thing there. But I'm like, man, multiverse is all the rage now.
Well, yeah, because you just keep adding on to it, and it's just never ending. Money keeps flowing. Yeah. Everyone wants the Marvel Cinematic Universe money.
I know, and I'm hoping that Warner Brothers, they probably haven't, has learned their lesson to a point of being like, okay, we can't rush that cinematic universe. Like, that's the thing Marvel didn't do. They did not rush it. They took a long time to build before they had even crossovers.
I mean, we have comics. We make movies. Just do what they're doing. Do it now.
Do it now. Do it fast.
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
No, you had Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, where none of those characters ever interacted with each other until Avengers.
Right.
It was a lot of years before they actually like combined them all together and gave each character room to breathe, not the Snyderverse. Let's shove them all together quickly, sort of thing. And I'm hoping that these movies will be better. I don't like Snyder's work, so.
I I haven't liked any of the superhero movies that he's done at all.
No, I think he's gotten worse every movie since 300.
Which was really good. I like 300.
I like 300.
Yep.
And then he did Sucker Punch, which was stupid. Only because it did the spoilers. It's all in her head at the end.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those kind of stories.
Escape mechanism.
Yeah.
She's being in a psychiatric ward kind of bullshit.
Wow,
like, yeah,
really
I was like, this is dumb. Like, and it was basically, and then the direction was like, I want to film pretty women basically do fighting.
Yeah, right.
Go.
Yep.
And to music I like. I was like, fine, that doesn't make a great movie for me to watch.
No.
I don't like his Watchmen adaptation. We can just get rid of that.
I avoided that, so.
It's fine. It's just, honestly, if anything, it stays too true to the comic.
That's hard to do because it's
until it doesn't.
Oh.
Until it just flat out doesn't. It's like you loved it and then you just changed a few things towards the end, and it's like. But the thing is, the pacing of the comic does not translate well to a movie.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that the Watchmen does itself a huge service by being a comic.
Yeah, it does.
And then to pull out pieces of the story or continue or whatever the HBO series did was amazing.
And that HBO series said "fuck you" to the movie and said, "We're not gonna take anything that you did there in your ending or anything. Yep. We're gonna be a sequel to the comic, actually."
Right.
Bye. So I don't know. I think Warner Brothers right now in this fandom, especially, is showing now that Snyder really is just seemingly out of all of this stuff, is a soft reboot of the DC cinematic universe.
Right. Which it needs.
Yeah, it needs new hands to come in and kind of guide that along. I'll be curious. The other thing that excited me on the list, it first excited me and then got a little sad, is there's a new animated Batman coming out, Batman Caped Crusader.
Oh.
Being done by Bruce Timm, who did Batman the Animated Series.
Oh.
And Matt Reeves, who's doing the Batman. And then also J.J. Abrams, which I was like, fuck.
That doesn't necessarily speak ill to me, but it does to you, obviously.
I mean, he did Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, but he's...
The movie I want to completely forget.
Yeah, but he's done other things that you've liked, I think. Right?
I mean, I liked Episode 7. Fine. I'm trying to think of other Abrams stuff.
I'm thinking of non-Star Wars stuff.
I like the first reboot Star Trek.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely despise the second one.
Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have gone on this path with you.
No, that's the thing. He's been hit or miss, but he is now probably more miss than hit.
Oh,
with
okay.
Overall. I generally liked his stuff for a while. I think he screwed up Lost pretty badly.
Oh my good fuck. I always blame Lindelof.
A lot of that got screwed up after he left, but he was very much like, here's all the mystery boxes. I don't want to show you what's in the mystery box.
Yeah.
I just want to keep adding mystery boxes. And
I always put that on Damon Lindelof, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Abrams loves his mystery boxes though, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have said the same thing about Lindelof as well, and then we just talked about HBO's Watchmen, and I'm like, fuck, clearly you can write really good.
Well, he also did the Leftovers?
Leftovers? Yeah.
Yeah, which apparently is amazing really as well. So, yeah, you're right.
So, it may just be who he's working with. Honestly, we should be honest. It's always who you're working with.
Yep.
Has a huge impact on the quality of your actual output. But that last part, I was like, come on, Abrams, really? But Bruce Timm did Batman the Animated Series, is doing an HBO Max new Batman Caped Crusader.
Is it a series?
Anime. Yeah.
That's cool. That's fucking cool. Okay.
And his elevator pitch was, my elevator pitch version of this show is that it's more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series.
Wow, that's a good pitch. That is a good pitch.
In Bruce's world, in this new iteration, it's just Batman. The Justice League doesn't exist. There aren't any other superheroes. It's just Batman. You're watching this lone figure swimming through the cesspool of Gotham. It's Batman alone.
Wow, it's like distilled.
And it's back setting in noir, like 1940s noir setting.
Okay, this gets better and better. That sounds good. Good.
I'm like, that sounds great. Like, this is the Batman I want.
The only thing that can make that better is if you say that it's coming out soon. But it's probably not.
Yeah, so they didn't give a date, and I assume it's
2023, something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. And it was announced earlier this year. Just seeing if it says. Nope, no dates, even whenever it was originally announced like a month ago. So I would assume next year at earliest, late next year on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other thing I watched when it's coming to HBO Max, talking about Marvel crossing over to DC and having a certain amount of comedy, Peacemaker.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Some friends had put it in the Discord chat and were like, "What the fuck is this?" Or "What the fuck?" They said.
It's John Cena's character from Suicide Squad, Peacemaker.
Oh, just spin off
the new Suicide Squad movie. Yeah. It's a spin-off, but it's still being done by James Gunn.
Oh,
same.
Okay.
The guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel.
Exactly.
And made Suicide Squad, which actually is a movie I kind of want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because there's a certain level of humor to it. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and the Peacemaker trailer doesn't take itself super seriously.
Oh, that's cool.
John Cena is comic gold. I'll be honest. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm watching it without sound right now. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm intrigued. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was the other one that got me. I was like, okay, let's do that. And I'm like, I don't know if it was planned or if this James Gunn and John Cena liked working together, and he's like, sure, let's do this.
Why don't we
Let me
spin
just
you
make
off?
your character like a series. I like your character so much. Let's just make a series off of it.
They just shot a ceramic jar off his dick.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'm in. I don't need to watch anymore. That's all I need to see. Yeah, well, there's a lot of content coming to HBO Max, which is cool. Once the Game of Thrones things comes out, I guess next year, maybe I'll resubscribe.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I have no expectations.
I mean, the only thing I can think is that the team making that knows that expectations like are huge for that and what they have to do. That I would hope that they would be able to take the time and have the resources to like nail that show to prove that like, no, you can still do good Game of Thrones.
I just want consistency over time. Like, I want it to be good. I don't need it to be great. Good is fine, but consistently good. Like, if you start off good and then it gets downhill from there, like, wow, we're way down in hell.
Being that it's based on a completed story, basically.
Right.
They could have portioned it out, being like, we know exactly how many seasons this needs to be to do the whole arc.
Oh my god, I thought it was just one season, Anthony. Is it more than one?
I don't know.
Oh man, yeah.
Could it be?
No, not this fucking roller coaster again. You know what? Whatever. Like, I'll take it because there's no fucking books ever, never coming. So
nope.
I will just. This is what I get.
Get your hopes up. Maybe the book will come out and coincide with this.
I have played that game over the past decade, God, at least 10 times. I've lost so many bets. I was like, clearly it makes sense that's coming out with this. Like, and then for a while I was like, well, it's taken so long because he's doing both at the same time. He just wants to be done. So here are the two. Like, no, dude, he's just, I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing. You know, more power to him. It's his life. He's got a fuck ton of money. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But man, I would love to see the end of that story. Done well. Like, I'm sure the plot points that they hit in this series is what George told them. But he didn't tell them how he was getting there because that guy doesn't fucking know.
Yeah. I don't know. I went to his Not a Blog thing. So he posted about House of the Dragon teaser. But he has parentheses. It's like, I know you've already seen this. Parentheses, what can I say I am busy juggling so many balls, so many projects.
Shut
Posting
the
stuff
fuck
on
up.
Not a Blog is not my highest priority. I'm like, why do you have so many projects?
Yep.
You should have one.
Yep.
Finish your one,
Yep.
please. When he says he has so many projects, I'm like, that's why there's never going to be another book. All those other things are more fun for him.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? If especially if he either feels like pressure or, I mean, he just fucking sucks at deadlines. He admits it. He just is terrible at deadlines. So I don't know. Like, does he care enough to finish the story? I don't know. I've given up completely. And if I get a new book, I will be over the moon and be very excited to read it. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I'm so sad. Why don't we move on to what we've been playing? And I will start. It's only been Kina, all the time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my daughter is so excited to start the next part of the story. And it's like, really, it's partitioned well, where it's like, there are three characters, basically, who are kind of like in trouble. They're kind of, you find out that they're like stuck in between the worlds because you're, a spirit guide. And you find 3 relics for each one to like activate the final boss fight, where they're kind of taken over by some malevolent energy, and then you defeat them, and then they reconnect with their friend who is coming to you to help, free them or whatever, and then they move on to the next life. So it's like 3 main characters, 3 pieces of their story, so you can kind of do like 1 piece per gaming session. So we're on the last piece, and it's really interesting because there are clearly 3 characters. We're on the last piece of the 3rd character. We beat that boss. My daughter's asking, like, when are we going to get to the end of the story? And I was like, I think this is the 3rd piece of the 3rd character. This is probably the end of the game. And then she says, no. There's another character that we don't know about that we're going to then have to beat that character. And I was like, that's usually how this works. Yeah. I don't know how you know that, but yes, that's correct. That's probably what's going to happen. It's getting a little scary now, a little darker. So she jumps in my lap sometimes, but it's captivated her, the story. She loves the characters, loves the story. Animation is super cool. Like, she dreams about Kina. She like wants to be Kina. It's a fantastic game, especially to play with like your daughter, your kid. I think there are things that will remind you of like a PS2 game, mainly in terms of jumping traversal. Like I missed that jump. How did I miss that jump? But there's enough new skills and mechanics as you go forward with like puzzle solving stuff in the world that it's never been. The environments feel samey, but the gameplay doesn't feel as samey. It's been quite nice. It's a real, for $40, like it's a fucking. I really think it's a no-brainer. It's great. And that's what we've been playing. I played another session of Metroid Dread by myself. And man, that game controls so well. It really feels super smooth to control, and I love the exploration of it. Is, that's what the fucking game's all about. That's what I love so much about Hollow Knight and Super Metroid, but just the filling out the map and exploring and putting your little markers and where you're going to come back because you have to because you need that other ability. It does the Metroid thing super well. And
it really does.
And that's what I played this week.
I mean, I put in a couple more sessions of it. I'm probably I'm trying to think. I've fought a couple. No, I have not fought. How many? I haven't fought the second full boss. I've killed a couple more Emmys. Killed those mini boss things. Took out the first boss. People were complaining about the boss. I'm like, didn't have a problem with the boss. Just use all the abilities that you've been given so far, and it pretty much telegraphs which ability you should be using at different points. So
nice.
Did fine on that. I've unlocked 3 chunks of the map, 3 different areas that you tram between.
And they look different, like the biome kind of thing?
Yes.
Nice.
Very much different biomes. Some interesting set pieces in them. You can unlock teleportation between zones. So there's like teleporters in different rooms. I had seen it in a room before back in the first area, and I was like, what the hell's that? Well, figured out it was a teleporter.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's like you just need to find the other point and activate it, and it worked. So I agree with you. It feels very Sublime Metroid, and then the Emmy sections really are terrifying. I'll be honest. I just still don't know how I feel about the like. Well, I'm just gonna die a couple times till I can learn generally where I need to go.
Right.
Although you get some tools as you go through to start preventing that more, where you can not the countering them, but you can do things to hide easier from them if they spot you and kind of let them leave. So that's been nice.
I forgot to mention I finally countered an Emmy. Felt great. I felt like a badass.
Yeah, I've done it one time.
Yep.
One time.
Yep. It was like I did, at least with this one, maybe it's for every one of them, you have to counter them twice. And I hit the first one, hit the second one, and I fucking got away from it. And I was like, sweet. I still don't know where to go, but I got away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it's been like. And those sections basically are a lot of, all right, I know, so I'm going to go in here and probably die eventually, but let's fill out the map and kind of see the direction I can go. Yeah. But they are tense, I will say. Like, there is an actual tension to those zones, and then it feels really good when you clear them out and get to have free exploration in them.
Right.
So, no, it feels like really good Metroid. Yeah, agree with you. Controls feel great. The responsiveness of it feels amazing. Yeah, I really enjoy it quite a bit.
I love
the only played
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I said the detail they put into like the backgrounds and just the different areas.
Yep.
Man, it's fucking. I love to see Super Metroid in that style.
Yeah. I kind of feel like at this point I'm like, well, you did a remake for Samus Returns. Let's bring that onto the Switch with minor
absolutely.
updates,
Mm-hmm.
and then just do the original Metroid and Super Metroid in that same style. Let's just get. And then Fusion. Let's just get the whole.
Get all 5 up there. Yep.
All 5 just in this style, using this kind of engine.
I feel like Mercury Steam's like, because they did their the remake one, and I did an original one. Like, would they want to move on to an original one, or want to do another remake, or are they like, we want to do a different game completely? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, I would think that they want to continue to move forward, but. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo would like them to do something else, because I'm sure Nintendo has a say.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, you guys you're good. Like the universally, it feels like there's so much praise for this game and how they pulled off the Metroidness of this game. The only thing I've seen people bag on is the music, to be honest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the music is kind of forgetful.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just not standout. It just kind of blends into the background. I think it,
right,
which is good. It doesn't hurt the game. It's just I haven't come across a track where I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think some people are so attached to like Super Metroid soundtrack or whatever
sure.
in the series, not only because it's good, but because there were so much time between games, like to relive the game. Sometimes you just listen to the music. Like I listen to Celeste music all the time. It's probably like my most played game soundtrack, to be honest.
Yeah. So I played that, and then I continue to play Genshin.
Oh damn! So that's hooked in you.
It just has it has a lot to do. The scale of things to do, even the side quests are enormous. Like, because that's kind of what I'm going through. I'm at the cap of the story. There was a new patch, so it introduced a new island.
Right.
It was basically the end of the current story arc. So I've got through that point. And so I'm like going back and just doing side quests, but some of the side quests are just enormous multi-day kind of things.
Oh, dang.
With tons of voice acting and custom animation and cutscene, the whole thing. You're just like, and again, it goes to the whole thing of this game being, is this really a free-to-play game? Like, really? Because the quality bar of it is just super high.
They must be raking in cash.
They have to. I think they are, and I'm glad that they are, because they actually made a good game first. And it's just enjoyable to play. It just constantly find new things to do, random world puzzles to solve. I did a Sudoku puzzle in the game.
There's what?
Yeah, there's this weird thing where it's like you read a note and it's like, okay, blocks, they have like a face on them that's lit up. Blocks facing west are 1, blocks facing north are 2, 3, 4 east and south. And then if they have a certain symbol on top of them, add 4 to that number. And then it's like 1 3x3 grid, and you need to make each column and row and diagonal all add up to the same number
Right.
on the ends there. Like it's Sudoku. I was playing a simplified Sudoku in the game, and I had to solve it. And this is just in the world. It's not like a quest telling you to do this. You just come across it.
That's really cool.
And that's what the game is. Just tons of stuff you just come across. And you're like, huh, how do I solve this? Start looking around. Start hitting things and watching how things rotate and things react, and then figure it out. But I have a notebook next to my desk where I just have a list of like to-dos, things that I need to get and for my characters or leveling up, and that's how much hooks it just has in me of just that level of RPG systems. I like those type of systems anyway. So I don't know. It's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. We'll see how it goes once I finish. I have like 3 or 4 more quests to clear out, and we'll see
what the
how much I play.
End game kind of thing is,
how
or
much
whatever.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, do I continue playing? Do I not? I don't know, but it's fun. I'm glad that I was not forced, but asked to pick it up for work to play, because I wouldn't have given it a shot and just was like, had kind of written it off. But nope, it's a deep RPG Breath of the Wild.
Man, that whole sentence there sounds amazing.
It does, and it's weird that it is that. So, and I guess you could play it co-op too. I've turned off the ability for other people to join my world, and I haven't joined anyone else's worlds. But doing that, my son's picked it up on the PlayStation. He's like, "Can I play it?" And I'm like, your account doesn't allow you to spend money, so I'm not worried about you accidentally buying things.
Yeah. And
I've played enough of it to know that it doesn't really push you to buy anything. So yeah, sure, play. He's loving it.
Awesome.
Absolutely loves
That's
it.
great.
He just sits there and just jabbers at me constantly. It's like, there's this thing and that. I'm like, when does this happen? When does that happen? And I just have to tell. My most common answer is, just continue to play the story.
Yeah, you'll find out.
It's like, when do you unlock that? Just play the story. Just
keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. You'll get it. It's not hidden. It will be put in your face when you get
Right, there's nothing I need to tell you about this.
Yeah.
That's cool. Man,
so.
I'm looking forward to those times with my daughter.
Yeah. And then my daughter's been playing Stardew Valley.
Oh, nice.
She is obsessed. That is her game, and she is all about the town relationships.
Is she on the Switch or
Switch? Yeah,
handheld?
She plays it on the Switch.
Or TV?
Actually, kickstand it out with the controller.
So
with the Pro controller.
So she could benefit from an OLED.
She could. Yeah, that's not going to work. She'd play it on the TV too.
Yeah.
But usually when they have their game time, my son usually takes the TV to play PlayStation,
right.
And she wants to play Switch, and she prefers sitting at the table holding the Pro controller, looking at the Switch with its kickstand out,
Perfect.
rather than holding it. And I think it's just a little cumbersome for her to hold.
Yeah, for the little hands, how heavy it is
Switch.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's awesome.
But she's very comfortable with the Pro controller now, so that's good.
Great controller, so yeah.
It is. Yeah. So I don't know. That's what I've been playing. It's been good. It's probably what I'll be playing for a while. I can't think of anything coming out super soon that I'm going to pick up.
Call of Duty. I'm sure it's going out soon.
Nope.
Not your Final Fantasy 14 is it next month?
That's next month. November 19th is since I pre-ordered it, that's the early start. That Friday before the week of Thanksgiving, and I've already taken the week of Thanksgiving off.
See ya.
Even though I'm not going anywhere.
Sure, are you going into Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, it's true.
World.
Yeah, I'll be playing a shit ton of that on that. Get that. But yeah, I think that's the next big thing. I'll just be kind of chilling until then.
Yep, that makes sense. For me, the rest of the year, boy, I think it's just going to be Metroid. Or whatever my daughter wants to play next, because fucking Kina has been awesome. She was like, can we? She really liked the companion of the first Spirit. She's like, can we just see Rusu again? She has me tab out of the game to show her some of the videos and pictures we took in game of Rusu, which is one of the characters. She's like, I'm happy again. Okay, now you can go back. All right. She's funny. She's amazing. Kids are cool most of the time.
They are.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. It's true.
Well, anything else for the podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I'm good.
All right. Well, that was episode 310, not 410, 310 of Prof and Dev Play Games. You're probably also getting episode 309 because I'll fix my billing thing tonight. Thanks for listening. If you like our podcast, rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will see you next week. Oh, you know what? One more thing. Injustice 3 was not at DC Fandom, and that sucks.
Yeah, you're right.
Ugh, I was looking forward to that, but nothing. And then no shadow of anything, so.
Nope.
Oh, well. That's fine. Anyway, all right, folks. Have a good day, and we'll see you next week.
Later, all.